This is not, in case you're wondering, the Mighty Dash. This is a Fokker F27, and we're making our way very awkwardly uh, towards Monterey, having just taken off from San Francisco. Um, well, it's about as primitive as you can get. What I'm going to be doing, I think, is making my way towards the Salinas VOR and then turning right outbound to 250 and somehow going to intercept the localizer here and fly outbound, spin around and come back. I'm doing this with probably the world's most primitive autopilot. There isn't even any heading select, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin my heading bug around to where I want to go, which is about 60 degrees to left. I'm going to come down here. I'm going to click and hold this until the airplane turns onto that heading, and we start flying the RMI towards the station. I've got my HSI and my nav1 tuned to the localizer, and I'm going to lay off right about there, let it come out of this bank, and then I think I am basically just going to fly the RMI. And since I want to get on this particular radial, I need to push the head of it just a little bit. Push the head, pull the tail. So we'll spin ourselves around just a little bit more. And I'm groping around the cockpit here. Let me just turn my taxi lights off. Landing lights are off. Oh, nav lights are on. I don't know where anything is. This is a wild airplane. Let's see. These are my radios up here instead of downstairs in the Mighty Dash. And I'm looking for my fuel boost pumps and so forth. And let's see. Those are here. I'm just going to leave them on right now. Our ignition switches are off, but they will come on for landing. These are not condition levers. These are basically just prop pitch limiters and fuel switches, fuel cutoff switches. Let's see. What else have we got? We do seem to be picking up the ILS, the localizer. And that appears to be the DME for number 1. I don't know if I got a DME for nav2. Let's find out. Aha! There's a DME switch. Okay. And that shows 28 miles to my nav2. And you know what let's do? Let's just set up a direct course to our nav2, like so. And I'm going to turn the autopilot on something called beam hold. Okay, and that is going to hold us on our VOR. We hope. I've also got altitude hold on. Let's see how well it holds this beam. So we're flying inbound on the 101 to Salinas. What we will do is we will get a beam Salinas, and then we will turn onto the 250 outbound, which means we will turn right. That is actually Monterey out there. We could probably fly. There's the airport. Can actually fly this visually, but I just want to see if I can make this antique monster work. It's a very cool airplane. Excuse me. I'm not even sure if it's pressurized, to tell you the truth. I know I've got an oxygen mask and system, but I don't see a pressurization system. Very interesting airplane. Very cool. It is, you'll forgive me, it is one cool Fokker. Not only does it have all sorts of weird controls on it, and not only am I getting off of my beam here, oh, this is interesting. Now I can turn my heading, and it seems to work as a heading select. We'll use it to get established on the beam, as it were, so we'll just cut into that a little bit. And beam hold heading on. And in a second, let's turn beam hold heading off. And now it says, well, it says beam hold heading mode still on. Well, this will be interesting. Anyway, we are 13 miles away. What we will do is, when we get a beam, we'll turn outbound to 250, see if that works, and then we'll flip over our nav into our localizer frequency. Interesting, learning the little tricks in this thing. Anyway, it has water and methanol injection for extra power in hot and high conditions. It has a little analog computer here that lets you calculate the engine trim. It has a secondary set of throttles here, which are fuel trims, which you can tweak up and down, which will adjust the power just a little bit one way or another. Boy, it is wacky. The flaps and gear are operated pneumatically, so it's got air brakes. And it doesn't have very good ground steering, so we'll see what we can do there. So we're fat and happy at the moment. We're 7 or so miles away from Salinas, which stands to reason because I believe that's the Salinas Airport right there. This thing can actually move at a pretty decent rate of speed. Over that way is Laguna Seca. This is Highway 101 right here. And I could fly in the back way this way, but let's try to fly an ILS approach. Heaven help us. Alright, 5 miles away. Come over some really nice farmland, and yes, that is the 101 right there. That's the San Francisco Peninsula. And this is coming up into the Central Valley. And we are on this beam. And let us turn our heading to 250. Hey, will you look at that? It does it. And we'll also spin our course around to 250. And we will have blown through that a little bit, but we'll pick it up again. Look, Ma, I'm navigating. This is pretty cool. In the meantime, as we're turning outbound, we will, well, our boost pumps are on. We'll turn our landing lights on. Nav lights already on. Beacon is on. Strobes are on. Okay. We will keep heading outbound here so that we catch that outbound course, which will then take us to our ILS. Just going to let this come in. And once we do get on this radial, then I will flip over the nav source to nav 1, and I'll spin 098 in for our radial, our approach course to be more precise. Actually, that course should be 250. And here we come. Let's see if we can do it cleanly. Follow that needle on in. Unfamiliar with the turn rate of this aircraft, so it's a little hard to do. But we'll get there. Almost. Hey, not bad. Alright, we done captured it. And there is our airfield. So we're going to very, very quickly switch our nav source over. And we're going to fly outbound now on our loc. And looky at that. How do you like that? We're about to cut across the localizer. And we'll turn to 278. As soon as we do. As soon as that needle starts to move, we'll fly outbound to 10 DME and we'll come back around. pretending, of course, we can't see a thing. And all apologies in advance. This is my first time flying this aircraft. And we'll actually do a procedure turn instead of a hold when we get out there. Give ourselves a fighting chance. Of getting lined up. So far, so good. I like the way this plane hand flies, to tell you the truth. So we'll probably just hand fly the approach. I'm not yet sure of the V speeds or the flap speeds. So I also like the fact that it remembers our course for each nav source, which is great. Alright, so there we go. Turn outbound here. I did that a little bit late. Yep. Have to correct a little bit. Not a lot, just a little. And we're right about 10 DME now, but we're still above the glide slope, so I'm just going to fly outbound until we can grab it. Get ourselves lined up on the beam. I suppose I could set this into, I think there's a back course mode for it, and do it that way, but might as well do it the old-fashioned way. Here comes the glide slope. And we'll just turn as soon as this thing gets just a little bit above center. We will we'll turn outbound 45 degrees and then do a 180. Just a standard procedure turn. And we'll also slow down. Matter of fact, I'll slow down now. There is a lot of power lag in this aircraft. It takes a long time to slow down and a long time to speed up. Alright, so we'll come right 45 degrees. We'll fly that for 1 minute. We'll bring our props, or whatever these things are, up. Put ourselves in fine pitch mode. And you can see we're getting offset from the localizer. Where is my chronometer? I'm like going 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi at this point. I can't find my clock. Alright, well, I've got about 30 Mississippis to go. As we're slowing down, but not a lot. Boy. Okay, we shall head back. Oh ho ho, it's turning us the other way. Okay, can't do it all at once then. Gotta get it set up. And then do it a little more and a little more. Okay, lesson learned. And we're down to 180. I don't know whether that's a safe speed for the flaps. We're also quite a ways out, so goodness knows we've got plenty of time to slow down. As we head back towards our localizer. Beautiful looking day. Don't really need to fly an instrument approach, but I want to see if we can do it. And I'm not probably going to use the autopilot. Let's see if I can figure out the flight director. Where is the control for the flight director? Here we go. Mode off. Mode go around. Mode heading. Mode aux and nav. I don't know. But let's just get ourselves reestablished here first. And we'll figure it out. Okay, our glide slope's alive again. Our localizer is coming in again. Okay, that's flight director off. There's flight director on. Basically, I'm just using the hang bug here. Waiting for our localizer to come in. There we go. Turn inbound. Capture that. Giving myself plenty of time here. And let's turn it on to approach hold. And let's see if it captures the glide slope. Of course, let's give it a fighting chance by slowing down a bit. I do believe it is. Look at that. Okay. Turn on our taxi lights. I think we turn on our ignitions. Our props are already on our fine lockout mode. That's where they should be. Our nose wheel steering should be off, but we turn it on once we slow down. And since we are going way too fast, it is bringing us down at a mighty clip here. So let me just slow us down quite a bit. We're still, as Michael Stipe would say, we're still a ways away. I may have to dirty the plane up a little bit here. Put out 1 notch of flaps. I'm literally down to nothing on my throttles. Still doing 160. All right, well, let's give her another notch of flaps. Again, I have no idea what my V speeds are. I'm just going to guess from takeoff. This is not like a dash where you throw out some flaps and it slows the hell down. All right, make it a little dirtier. Out come the gear. Look at that. Listen to those Rolls-Royce darts. All right. We will take out the autopilot and bring in another notch of flaps. There's our outer marker. Now we're getting somewhere. Now I have to stay ahead of the power. Because it's about a 4-second throttle lag. 2, 3, 4. And I'm just sort of feeling my way here. Seeing where to put the nose. I'll throw out some more flaps so I can get a little bit more of a nose down aspect. And walk off the power again. Let's see where my flaps are. They are full. Okay, we're on profile, but we're all over the place on speed here. And I'm going to sink too much right now, so we'll give it a nice firm kick in the ass. And come off the power again. Trim down a little. This is definitely different than flying the dash. Now, a little bit of a crosswind from the right. Come off the power again. I know I'm landing a little bit fast here. And here comes my sink. A lot of power lag. Okay, there we go. Over the numbers. Oh my. All right, let's go around. Totally bent out of shape there. Gear up. flaps up. Bring our power out. You have to be about 5 seconds ahead of the power. You really, wow. That is a fun little challenge. Alright, let's get ourselves up to pattern altitude, which is 1,300 feet. And see if we can do that a little bit better. A little bit of aileron trim I have in it. A little bit of rudder trim I need. Right, we'll head outbound. I like the way it hand flies, but that was a surprise. Get a little flappage out early this time. Now, for all I know, I'm tearing the flaps off this thing. But the trick is to figure out the magic power settings, the magic numbers, get established onto them, get stabilized, and do it toot sweet. Okay, there's our field. Trimming. As soon as I get over the numbers, it's going to be the world's longest base leg. We'll get the gear out. You really have to work with the power. Do everything 4 or 5 seconds ahead. Okay, out can come the gear. My flap indicator is behind the gear lever, it looks like. That can't be good. We'll turn base. A little bit low. Slow enough this time. Try not to get into that drift I had there before. For some reason I had no rudder authority. None whatsoever. Very ugly. There's the marina. Getting in some more flaps. See where we are. Okay. We want to be turning over that golf course more or less. This part of California golf courses are rather good to navigate by. We're a little bit high. I don't want to get too fast. Got all our flaps out. We'll lose a little bit of altitude in the turn. And you see I'm already getting low energy. Gotta stay ahead of it. Okay, we are right on target. And now we're a little bit low. And now we're a little high. We are the poster child for unstable approaches. I can't seem to get enough rudder authority on this plane. Just giving it a nice big push, and it doesn't do diddly. See, here we go again. Well, crosswind cannot be that bad. There we go. Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. What an ugly approach. Nope. I don't get it. Alright, gear up. Flaps up. Is there a yaw damper I'm forgetting about? I think I know what it is. Somehow or other, I think I've got some kind of autopilot thing going. First of all, just to be on the safe side, we will turn our flight director off and exercise our rudder. And, well, that seems to be enough. We got a few notches of flaps in. We're back up at pattern altitude. And I swear to Jeebus, I'm going to land it this time. Make sure our autopilot is completely off. Well, actually, let's make sure we don't crash into the ocean. Autopilot off. Off. We're off. Okay. Let's try it again. Criminy. It's called a simple landing. Check our rudder trim. It is reasonably neutral. There we go. This should not be a problem. Shouldn't even be shouldn't even be a challenge. Down comes the gear. Honestly. This cannot be that poorly modeled that the rudder stops working. Because look, I give it a nice big push, that works. Give it a nice big push. Well, it's not great. Seem to lose a lot of rudder authority as we get slower. And round and round and round we go. Deeply embarrassing. Okay, we're on profile. We seem to be on speed. We're gently arcing towards our runway. We are pretty as a picture. And I ought to be able to walk the nose of this airplane any damn direction I want at this point. Just going to creep in a little more power. And here we go. I'm probably getting some asymmetric power, I guess. I don't know. Really wild. Well. And again, with that. Utterly, utterly mystifying. Maybe it's the wind. Let's come in from the other direction. Is my power so asymmetric that it's causing me this kind of trouble? Oh, I hope not. I feel like Jose Jimenez here. Let's try our nice curving approach. I mean, is the wind really that bad? Can't be. All right. Up we go. Totally bogus, dude. Maybe it's a control issue. There's the beautiful Laguna Seca Raceway. Pretty fair landmark. I mean, this plane in real life can turn on a dime. That's probably just me being an idiot. Let's see, where's our runway? I know I have to stay to the right of this mountain. Give ourselves some gear. Give ourselves lots of flaps. Point our ever-loving noses at the ground. Oh, look, it's a golf course. Where's the field? There's the field. Okay. Honey, I'm home. I'll tell you, I'm the one who's got some splaining to do here. Having a hard time flying the airplane. As soon as you get slow, you stop having useful rudder. That's very, very mushy. Wow. Well, let's just increase our VREF a little bit. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the only answer. Maybe I'm just going too damn slow. But I'm not getting a stick shaker. But I am leaning on the rudder. Wow. Can't really slip it. I'm just going to use asymmetric power now. Maybe that's what it is. There we go. I think that's the answer. I think my power levers are hosed. No. No. Absolutely not. This is pathetic. How many times are we going to try to land this airplane? It's looking so good until then. So good. There we go. At 160 knots, I can do whatever I want with the rudder. It should not vanish at such relatively reasonable speeds. It just shouldn't. Bastards. Rat bastards. And I'm looking right there at my prop sync, and it is, well, it's reasonably synced. Ah, this could be my Cytec throttles coming to bite me again. I swear by all that's holy. I really want to like this airplane. Coming a little low this time. But what is it? When it gets in the ground effect, it stops. The rudders stop working. Truly heartbreaking. Try it one last time. Oh, it's going to be long. And I'm hard right on the rudder, and it does not matter. I could not be harder right on the rudder, and actually, there it is. Hard right on the rudder, and the plane is not going right. Let's see if I can do anything to make the plane go right. Yes, I can over-torque the left engine.